well, and she is helping actually producers in Africa, and she's going to share her experience and her story with us today. Hello, Manon.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction. Such a lovely, actually, recap of my project. It's nice to hear. So I'm gonna share my screen, if that's all right with you. I do have a presentation for you guys, which I hope will help you better understand what I do. All right.
Yeah,
Can you see my presentation now? Yeah. Oh, sorry about the about the background. I'm passionate about Couture, but that's something aside. Can you see my presentation now?
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. So yeah, so I've launched the project Sewing with Purpose last summer. Um, Basically, I used to work within the hospitality industry, in luxury hotels, as human resources manager. I actually stopped my activity a month ago to change my career path. I'm onto something new now, something that is more meaningful with what I do, something that is more in line, I guess, with my projects. And also something I agree with, I would say, in terms of culture and values. So we've all been through the COVID pandemic and lockdown last year. And through that time, I decided to make the most of the free time I had to launch the Sewing with Purpose project. How to recap the project in a sentence, as I mentioned on the screen, it's a creative way to fundraise. So to give you a bit of background, my story with the Brain Project. So I was born in France. I left the country. I was 18. I've been traveling for 10 years and I've been working abroad, whether it was in Australia, London as well, more recently in Switzerland. And I did met with the co-founder and the president of the Brain Project Africa in London in 2017. And I just fell for the project. It was meaningful to me. It's all about powering the healthcare ecosystem across Africa. And because it was created by two people native from there, it made a lot of sense. It was about empowering people on site and not coming, helping people and then leaving like many organizations do. Um, so I really felt passionate about it, and I joined them for medical mission in Cameroon 2020, and then I came back to Switzerland where I was working at the time, and COVID happened. So basically, everyone was at home, and I was like, I need to use that time to work on the project and develop it. How can you help a foundation to grow? Obviously, there is a lot to do, but the basic is fundraising. When you've been living in London, you have someone asking you for money for a charity at every corner of the street, and I could not see myself doing this. So I was like, you need to come up with a creative way to fundraise. And that's how I decided to launch my sewing project. So I had no knowledge about sewing. I had no knowledge about web development, how to create a website, so on and so on. I literally started from zero, and I created my own brand. Starting, yeah, starting with a sewing machine, and I will show you some pictures in a moment. But that's literally how I started. To give you a quick idea of the impact we have with the foundation, so far we've been to 2 countries where the co-founders are native, Ghana and Cameroon. We've been having 3 missions so far. 2 missions are planned for 2022, and we have other countries that have reached out already to us, asking us if we could hop in and intervene to support their medical system. So that's a quick overview of what we've been doing with the foundation so far. It's a small foundation. I would say we are 10 active members working on it really, I would say, like on a daily basis. And we have about more than 100 medical professionals that are actually in the database and happy to join us for missions. So my project is basically, I would say, covered from A to Z by myself. I do have some support. I will get onto that in a moment. But it's all managed, I would say, by myself, because it was very hard for me to delegate, because when you combine fundraising, the foundation, and a fashion project, the message can be quite sensitive. So you have to be very careful, because I'm not here to make money. All the money that is collected through the sales is actually given to the foundation. 100% of the proceeds are donated to the foundation. So it was super important for me to make sure the message was clear to the audience, and making sure as well I was not getting this wrong. So I just added this slide because I want this to be impactful, and with that I could come across with a message that with the sale of 5 bags like this one, I was actually able to coordinate a wheelchair. I think someone else has his mic on, if that's all right. So with the sales of 5 bags like this one, I was able to coordinate a wheelchair to be sent to Cameroon to Gustav, who's 21 years old, and desperately needed one. So I just wanted this slide to be really impactful. Like, 5% just bought, this bag, and we were able to help someone on the continent. So I hope the message, is I would say quite shocking to some people, but that as well tell how much fashion can be helpful and powerful, and can be used for greater purpose. So to give you an idea, at the moment, most of my retail is done online and through my network in Switzerland, as well in Europe. I do have a concept store that is supporting me in Paris. And as well, I do have another opportunity to join another concept store in Saint-Tropez next summer in 2022. The objective, obviously, when I started, I had this idea in mind that the project could develop and I would be able to get money, like a stable income for the foundation on a monthly basis. I was hoping the sales would be good enough to provide a monthly donation. And because of the success, thanks to the success, I should say, I was able to think bigger, and my objective is to develop the project and provide jobs in Africa. Obviously, I'm not thinking about millions of jobs just yet, but I'm thinking, even if it's for 2, 3, 5 people, providing these jobs in Africa, while giving them obviously an income, and having a stable and monthly or yearly donation for the foundation. So that's the bigger picture right now. I hope this objective will be, I would say, mid-term. I'm hoping within 2 years we can achieve that. I was in Senegal earlier this year, and I met already with a young tailor who's super talented, and he would be happy to join the project. So I was like, let me just get this all settled, because it's all by myself at the moment, and I do have a job aside, so that makes it I won't say difficult, because when you want to find the time, you find it, but it's just challenging how things can, you know, pick up very quickly, and you need to cope with it. And if you want to make things right, you need to make sure you surround yourself with the right people. So yeah, that's the big objective. I hope I will be able to achieve that within the next 2 years. Earlier the better, but that's the big picture to support the foundation. So to give you a quick overview of the collection, that's basically the items I'm creating. So I'm proud to say I had zero skills in sewing, in fashion. Obviously, it has always been a passion since I was a kid. So that's the reason my tagline is about passion and purpose. But I had no whatsoever chance to study fashion or being into the business. So I've started with simple items, but items that is actually useful to everyone. And I came to realize that the audience actually loved it, whether it was for summer, for winter. Men and women actually bought. Is just because the fabric, as I keep saying, the wax just makes everyone happy. And especially in times where, you know, everything has been so difficult, people usually just love the patterns. They're just, you know, they feel like they're on vacation already, or it just brings a little bit of, you know, color into their day to day. So the audience is actually super large, like whether it's men, women, it's for present, to gift themselves. I had teenagers. So I was actually super happy and surprised of how the audience reacted to my project. So that's a quick sneak peek of the collection. I do have much more, obviously, in terms of patterns and colors available. But that's I would say a quick overview of the essentials. So that was a quick presentation. I believe I'm more happy to answer any questions if anything was not clear. Um, I believe it's quite of a not of the box topic. I do relate to Mary, who spoke earlier about the Women in Gold initiative. But it's true, I'm not here to make money for myself. I'm not a fashion professional, and I'm not into the latest technology whatsoever. I believe I started this to do my part as helping the foundation I'm deep involved with. Hopefully it's gonna grow bigger, and perhaps one day I will be able to look 100% after this project and stop my activity. But for now, it's definitely something aside for me, and I hope to bring this project to obviously another level. But it's clearly just to support and provide to people who are in need at the moment. So on the screen, you have my QR code if you want to check out my website. You have my handle for Instagram. You have as well my email if you want to reach out about the foundation or anything. And that's it for me. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer.
Thank you so much, Manon. This is really inspiring. My question is, how do you plan to scale? Because with what you're doing, you're supporting the foundation as much as you can. But if you scale it, then probably you're gonna have a lot of more impact. So did you have any ideas how you're gonna do it? Maybe get some grants to build your team, or are there any ideas to do that?
Yeah, so I had a volunteer who actually wanted to assist with the creations. So I had another lady helping me into making bags. I do have support with concept stores, which is essential, because online retailing is good, but being in a store in Paris, for example, does help a lot because it's a destination where people definitely just walking. So it's great to have this opportunity as well to be into stores. In terms of scaling, I do have as well then a network, I would say for now in Senegal, where I have contact. I mean, I have one person I'm sure I want to start working with him, and then it will be just about bringing more people. But when you're not on site, to me, it's super important to make sure you know the person, you've seen the person working, and you're happy with the project, because you will have this remote relationship. So it's baby step. And right now, thanks to my last job, I was working in human resources in Switzerland, and the person who actually replaced me hired someone who has a similar project. She's as well into this concept where she wants to provide an income to Senegalese women who basically would be sewing, creating clothing. She would be reselling, and with that money she would be able to the income will be to for the ladies to pay for their studies. So we do have something similar. She's focusing on on paying the studies. I'm focusing on helping the foundation, the Brain Project Africa Foundation, but we do have a similar goal, which is supporting the African continent. So that is another option as well. We've just reached out to each other like 2 weeks ago. So that is as well another option. In terms of scaling, obviously, if the project pick up, I will need to have people helping me with creations and shipping, so on and so on. But what the challenge is, especially because I've been in recruitment, it's already hard to recruit people. But when you recruit volunteers, it's even harder, because if it's in Europe, I need to think about that, because I'm happy to provide an income to the people working in the West African countries. But like this lady who helped me to create the bags, it was 100% volunteer job. So I will have to see who's the audience, who's happy to join on the project, who wants to volunteer, who doesn't want to volunteer, because at the end of the day, it's to support the foundation.
Thank you so much. My question about the audience, I'm always interested in marketing, because I have a background in digital marketing, and I'm wondering, how are you reaching out to your audience? I see that you have Instagram, and I know that you have a website, Sewing with Passion. Are there any volunteers who are helping you with social media as well?
No, to be honest, the Instagram is pretty dead. I mean, I don't see myself, I don't consider myself really active on Instagram, simply because the sales have been like good enough. I mean, with the stock I have, I need to be careful, because I can't reply positively if I had too much demand, which is a good problem to have, if you don't have enough to sell. But my products are limited editions, so I need to be careful with how much I have and how much I can sell and what's the demand. And the sales have been good enough not to promote too much. And how it worked mostly was through my network. Switzerland is a very good country where, if an initiative is I would say shareable, or if people are actually touched by it, they will speak about it like crazy. And many people actually reach out to me because they heard about me through someone else, and so on. So Switzerland was more like spreading the word through people and through the network. I had flyers with the QR code in some specific shops that were happy to support my initiative. And then after that, I did reach out to concept stores like in Paris, and other stores like Saint-Tropez and someone in Sion in Switzerland, and they were happy to support. And that's how people heard about me. And then it's just Oh, actually, I've seen that project. You should look at it. It's pretty cool. And people were literally just reaching out to me like this. So I believe this project could really scale if I was able to put into it, as you mentioned, the marketing and obviously more people behind it. Because when you're by yourself, it's hard to face, the demand. But that is, a very positive point, and it's a good problem to have. So
Thank you so much. This is a very honest question. I did a presentation last month on women's economy, and I did some research. I dug deep into how many businesses started last year during pandemic, and 70% of all the businesses that were started by women. And this is very exciting, but at the same time, it looks like they're artificially keeping their businesses small. And the reason being is either they have children, the single moms, or just in general, they have families to look after. And also, they don't have enough resources, and they're scared of their own success. But would you like to comment on that? I can see that you're keeping your business smaller, but the impact that you're making is really big. And I hope that you will find a lot of support. And why do you think this is happening right now with you, that you're connecting your passion with fashion and your purpose, but also don't want to turn it into your full-time business machine? Manon? Manon, you're muted. We cannot hear you.
hello. Also, yeah, it was automatic. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, time is essential. I mean, I don't have kids, and I'm 28, so I do have I, I don't have the family that I need to take care of right now. But um, what's keeping me away from this project 100% is work. And the reason I was able to start this project was because we were in lockdown. Otherwise, I would have never found the time to do it. I had this idea in mind, but I was never able to start it really because I was just so busy with work. But it's very hard to transition from work and having an income to a project, obviously, that is definitely not going to be an income for myself. So that's the reason for now is it's kind of very tricky for me to say I'm gonna focus on that 100% of my time, simply because I do need an income, and this project is not meant to give me an income but to provide for other people. So that's where the gray area is really standing. So obviously I hope to scale, but it's true when you mention access to resources. I had zero knowledge into web development to create my website. I did not want to pay someone to do it because I didn't know just yet if it was going to work, and I wanted to figure it out by myself because I'm really into DIY, into doing things by myself. I wanted to make sure the website looked exactly as I wanted. And again, I was not going to get any income from that. So it was hard for me to take the decision like I'm going to pay someone and I'm going to invest into it. So resources, lack of time are definitely keeping, and I believe women especially, away from starting businesses. Um, Am I going to be able to grow this? I believe so, because when I look at the figures and when I look at what I was able to accomplish with such small and little resources so far, I believe if I do get people who want to jump on it and support me, we could accomplish like great things together. So like this lady I mentioned, who works now in my previous job, we have a similar project, something that is quite in we can relate to each other, even if it's not the same, I would say, audience she wants to provide to a specific audience, and I want to provide to another. But together, I'm sure we can work out something. And especially because I was already deep into the Senegalese market to find tailors. She's from there, so it's like it's meant to be.
Thank you so much, Manon. Really inspiring, and please continue doing what you're doing. You can stop sharing your screen, by the way.
Sorry.
I really love your pieces, and they're so bright and so uplifting. And of course, African fabrics and their patterns are really beautiful. So I'm wishing you good luck, and I hope we will hear more from you, and maybe in a year or so. And do please reach out to us, and we'll try to find out how we can help you. By the way, we're launching a ventures program with Unit Foundation, where we teach entrepreneurs how to actually start their business from the scratch and scale it and make an impact as well. So you're welcome to join.
All right, that would be great. Thank you so much. Thank you.